Arden of Feversham. Act 1. A room in Arden's house. Enter Arden and Franklin. Franklin, Arden, cheer up thy spirits and droop no more. Chapter 1000. Why gracious Lord, the Duke of Somerset, hath freely given to thee and to thy heirs, by letters patents from his majesty, all the lands of the Abbey of Feversham. Here are the deeds. He hands them, sealed and subscribed with his name and the king's. Read them, and leave this melancholy mood. Arden, Franklin, thy love prolongs my weary life. And but for thee how odious were this life 10. That shows me nothing, but torments my soul, and those foul objects that offend mine eyes, which makes me wish that, for this veil of heaven, the earth hung over my head and covered me. Chapter 50. Ove letters pass twixt Mosby and my wife, and they have privy meetings in the town. Nay, on his finger did I spy the ring, which at our marriage day the priest put on. Chapter 100. And any grief be half so great as this? Franklin, comfort thyself, sweet friend, it is not strange 20, that women will be false and wavering. Arden, I but to dote on such a one as he. Chapter 1. S monstrous, Franklin, and intolerable. Franklin, why what is he? Arden, a botcher and no better at the first, who, by base brockage getting some small stock. Chapter 100. Rept into service of a nobleman, and by his servile flattery and fawning. Chapter 1. S now become the steward of his house, and bravely jets it in his silken gown 30. Franklin, no nobleman will countenance such a peasant. Arden, yes, the Lord Clifford, he that loves not me, but through his favor let him not grow proud. For were he by the Lord Protector backed, he should not make me to be pointed at. Chapter 1. Am by birth a gentleman of blood, and that injurious ribald that attempts to violate my dear wife's chastity. For dear I hold her love, as dear as heaven, shall on the bed, which he thinks to defile 40, see his dissevered joints and sinews torn, whilst on the planchers pants his weary body, smeared in the channels of his lustful blood. Franklin, be patient, gentle friend, and learn of me, to ease thy grief and save her chastity. Chapter 1. Entreat her fair, sweet words are fittest engines to race the flint walls of a woman's breast. Chapter 1. In any case be not too jealous, nor make no question of her love to thee, but as securely, presently take horse 50, and lie with me at London all this term. For women, when they may, will not, but being kept back, straight grow outrageous. Arden, though this abhors from reason, yet I'll try it, and call her forth, and presently take leave. How Alice? Here enters Alice. Alice, husband, what mean you to get up so early? Summer nights are short, and yet you rise ere day. Had I been wake, you had not risen so soon. Arden, sweet love, thou knowest that we two, Ovid like 60, have often chid the morning when it 'gan to peep, and often wished that dark night's purblind steeds would pull her by the purple mantle back, and cast her in the ocean to her love. But this night, sweet Alice, thou hast killed my heart. Chapter 1. Heard thee call on Mosby in thy sleep. Alice, 'tis like I was asleep when I named him, for being awake, he comes not in my thoughts. Arden, I but you started up and suddenly. Chapter 1. Instead of him, caught me about the next 70. Alice, instead of him, why, who was there but you? And where but one is, how can I mistake? Franklin, Arden, leave to urge her overfar. Arden, nay, love, there is no credit in a dream. Chapter 50. Let it suffice, I know thou lovest me well. Alice, now I remember whereupon it came. Had we no talk of Mosby yesternight? Franklin, Mistress Alice, I heard you name him once or twice. Alice, and thereof came it, and therefore blame not me. Arden, I know it did, and therefore let it pass 80. Chapter 1. Must to London, sweet Alice, presently. Alice, but tell me, do you mean to stay there long? Arden, no longer there till my affairs be done. Franklin, he will not stay above a month at most. Alice, a month, I me, sweet Arden, come again. Within a day or two, or else I die. Arden, I cannot long be from thee, gentle Alice. Whilst Michael fetch our horses from the field. Franklin and I will down unto the quay. For I have certain goods there to unload 90. Chapter 1000. E'en will prepare our breakfast, gentle Alice. For yet ere noon will take horse and away. Alice, ere noon he means to take horse and away. Sweet news is this, oh that some airy spirit would in the shape and likeness of a horse gallop with Arden, cross the ocean, and throw him from his back into the waves. Sweet Mosby is the man that hath my heart, and he usurps it, having naught but this, that I am tied to him by marriage 100. Chapter 50. Ove is a god, and marriage is but words, and therefore Mosby's title is the best. Tush, whether it be or no, he shall be mine. Chapter 1. In spite of him, of hymen and of rights. Here enters Adam of the Flower-de-Luce. And here comes Adam of the Flower-de-Luce. Chapter 1. Hope he brings me tidings of my love. How now, Adam, what is the news with you? Be not afraid, my husband is now from home. Adam, he whom you wot of, Mosby, Mistress Alice. Chapter 1. S come to town, and sends you word by me 110. Chapter 1. In any case you may not visit him. Alice, not visit him. Adam, no, nor take no knowledge of his being here. Alice, but tell me, is he angry or displeased? Adam, it should seem so, for he is wondrous sad. Alice, were he as mad as raving Hercules? Chapter 1. I'll see him, I, and were thy house of force. These hands of mine should race it to the ground, unless that thou wouldst bring me to my love. Adam, nay, and you be so impatient, I'll be gone 120. Alice, stay, Adam, stay, thou wert wont to be my friend. Ask Mosby how I have incurred his wrath. Bear him from me these pair of silver dice, with which we played for kisses many a time. And when I lost, I won, and so did he. Such winning and such losing Jove send me. And bid him, if his love do not decline, to come this morning, but along my door, and as a stranger but salute me there. This may he do without suspect or fear 130. Adam, I'll tell him what you say, and so farewell. Alice, do, and one day I'll make amends for all. Chapter 1. No, he loves me well, but dares not come, because my husband is so jealous, and these my narrow prying neighbors blab, hinder our meetings when we would confer. But if I live, that block shall be removed. And Mosby, thou that comes to me by stealth, shalt neither fear the biting speech of men, nor Arden's looks, as surely shall he die 140. As I abhor him and love only thee. Here enters Michael. How now, Michael, whither are you going? Chapter 1099. Hail, to fetch my master's nag. Chapter 1. Hope you'll think on me. Alice, aye, but Michael, see you keep your oath, and be as secret as you are resolute. Chapter 1099. Hail, I'll see he shall not live above a week. Alice, on that condition, Michael, here's my hand. None shall have Mosby's sister but thyself. Chapter 1099. Hail, I understand the painter here hard by hath made report that he and Sue is sure. Alice, there's no such matter, Michael, believe it not. Chapter 1099. Hail, but he hath sent a dagger sticking in a heart, with a verse or two stolen from a painted cloth, the which I hear the wench keeps in her chest. Well, let her keep it. I shall find a fellow that can both write and read and make rhyme too. And if I do, well, I say no more. Chapter 1. I'll send from London such a taunting letter as she shall eat the heart he sent with salt 160, and fling the dagger at the painter's head. Alice, what needs all this? I say that Susan's thine. Chapter 1099. Hail, why, then I say that I will kill my master, or anything that you will have me do. Alice, but Michael, see you do it cunningly. Chapter 1099. Hail, why say I should be took, I'll ne'er confess that you know anything, and Susan being a maid. Chapter 1000. I beg me from the gallows of the sheriff. Alice, trust not to that, Michael. Chapter 1099. Hail, you cannot tell me I have seen it, I 170. But mistress, tell her whether I live or die. Chapter 1. I'll make her more worth than 20 painters can, for I will rid mine elder brother away. And then the farm of Bolton is mine own, who would not venture upon house and land, when he may have it for a right down blow. Here enters Mosby. Alice, yonder comes Mosby. Michael, get thee gone, and let not him nor any know thy drifts. Chapter 1000. Osby, my love. Chapter 1000. Osby, away, I say, and talk not to me now 180. Alice, a word or two, sweetheart, and then I will. 'Tis yet but early days, thou needst not fear. Chapter 1000. Osby, where is your husband? Alice, 'tis now high water, and he is at the quay. Chapter 1000. Osby, there let him be, henceforward know me not. Alice, is this the end of all thy solemn oaths? Chapter 1. Is this the fruit thy reconcilement buds? Have I for this given thee so many favors? Chapter 1. Incurred my husband's hate, and out alas. Chapter 1000. A death shipwreck of mine honor for thy sake, 190. And dost thou say, henceforward know me not? Remember, when I locked thee in my closet. What were thy words and mine? Did we not both? Chapter 500. Ecry to murder Arden in the night. The heavens can witness, and the world can tell, before I saw that falsehood look of thine, for I was tangled with thy ticking speech. Arden to me was dearer than my soul, and shall be still. Base peasant, get thee gone, and boast not of thy conquest over me 200, gotten by witchcraft and mere sorcery. For what hast thou to countenance my love, being descended of a noble house, and matched already with a gentleman, whose servant thou mayst he be, and so farewell. Chapter 1000. Osby, ungentle and unkind Alice, now I see that which I ever feared, and find too true. A woman's love is as the lightning flame, which even in bursting forth consumes itself. To try thy constancy have I been strange, 210. Would I had never tried, but lived in hope. Alice, what needst thou try me whom thou ne'er found false? Chapter 1000. Osby, yet pardon me, for love is jealous. Alice, so lists the sailor to the mermaid's song, so looks the traveler to the basilisk. Chapter 1. Am content for to be reconciled, and that, I know, will be mine overthrow. Chapter 1000. Osby, thine overthrow, first let the world dissolve. Alice, nay, Mosby, let me still enjoy thy love, and happen what will, I am resolute 220. Chapter 1000. Why saving husband hoards up bags of gold, to make our children rich, and now is he gone to unload the goods that shall be thine, and he and Franklin will to London straight. Chapter 1000. Osby, to London, Alice, if thou'lt be ruled by me, will make him sure enough for coming there. Alice, ah, would we could. Chapter 1000. Osby, I happened on a painter yesternight, the only cunning man of Christendom, for he can temper poison with his oil 230, that whoso looks upon the work he draws, shall, with the beams that issue from his sight, suck venom to his breast and slay himself. Sweet Alice, he shall draw thy counterfeit, that Arden may, by gazing on it, perish. Alice, I but Mosby, that is dangerous, for thou, or I, or any other else, Chapter 100. Oming into the chamber where it hangs may die. Chapter 1000. Mosby, aye, but will have it covered with a cloth. And hung up in the study for himself, 240. Alice, it may not be, for when the picture's drawn. Arden, I know, will come and show it me. Chapter 1000. Mosby, fear not, will have that shall serve the turn. This is the painter's house, I'll call him forth. Alice, but Mosby, I'll have no such picture, I. Chapter 1000. Mosby, I pray thee leave it to my discretion. How, Clark? Here enters Clark. Oh, you are an honest man of your word. You served me well. Chapter 150. Ark, why, sir, I'll do it for you at any time. Provided, as you have given your word, 250. Chapter 1. May have Susan Mosby to my wife. For as sharp-witted poets, whose sweet verse. Chapter 1000. Ache heavenly gods break off their nectar draughts, and lay their ears down to the lowly earth. Use humble promise to their sacred muse. So we that are the poets' favorites. Chapter 1000. Us't have a love, aye, love is the painter's muse. That makes him frame a speaking countenance, a weeping eye that witnesses heart's grief. Then tell me, Master Mosby, shall I have her? 260. Alice, 'tis pity but he should, he'll use her well. Chapter 1000. Mosby, Clark, here's my hand, my sister shall be thine. Chapter 150. Ark, then, brother, to requite this courtesy, you shall command my life, my skill and all. Alice, ah, that thou couldst be secret. Chapter 1000. Mosby, fear him not, leave, I have talked sufficient. Chapter 150. Ark, you know not me that ask such questions. Chapter 50. Let it suffice, I know you love him well, and fain would have your husband made away. Wherein, trust me, you show a noble mind, 270. That rather than you'll live with him you hate, you'll venture life, and die with him you love. The like will I do for my Susan's sake. Alice, yet nothing could enforce me to the deed. But Mosby's love, might I without control enjoy thee still, then Arden should not die. But seeing I cannot, therefore let him die. Chapter 1000. Mosby, enough, sweet Alice, thy kind words makes me melt. Your trick of poison pictures we dislike. Some other poison would do better, far, 280. Alice, aye, such as might be put into his broth, and yet in taste not to be found at all. Chapter 150. Ark, I know your mind, and here I have it for you. Put but a dram of this into his drink, or any kind of broth that he shall eat, and he shall die within an hour after. Alice, as I am a gentlewoman, Clark, next day thou and Susan shall be married. Chapter 1000. Mosby, and I'll make her dowry more than I'll talk of Clark. Chapter 150. Ark, yonder's your husband. Mosby, I'll be gone 290. Here enters Arden and Franklin. Alice, in good time see where my husband comes. Chapter 1000. Master Mosby, ask him the question yourself. Chapter 1000. Mosby, Master Arden being at London yesternight, the abbey lands, whereof you are now possessed, were offered me on some occasion by Green, one of Sir Anthony Ager's men. Chapter 1. Pray you, sir, tell me, are not the lands yours? Hath any other interest herein? Arden, Mosby, that question will decide anon. Alice, make ready my breakfast, I must hence 300. As for the lands, Mosby, they are mine, by letters patents from his Majesty. But I must have a mandate for my wife. They say you seek to rob me of her love. Chapter 104. Ain, what makest thou in her company? She's no companion for so base a groom. Chapter 1000. Mosby, Arden, I thought not on her I came to thee, but rather than I pocket up this wrong. Franklin, what will you do, sir? Chapter 1000. Mosby, revenge it on the proudest of you both, 310. Arden, so, sirrah, you may not wear a sword. The statute makes against artificers. Chapter 1 Warrant that I do. Now use your bodkin, your Spanish needle, and your pressing iron. For this shall go with me, and mark my words. You goodman botcher, 'tis to you I speak. The next time that I take thee near my house. Chapter 1 Instead of legs I'll make thee crawl on stumps. Chapter 1000 Osby, ah, Master Arden, you have injured me. Chapter 1 Do appeal to God and to the world 320. Franklin, why canst thou deny thou wert a botcher once? Chapter 1000 Osby, measure me what I am, not what I was. Arden, why, what art thou now but a velvet drudge? A cheating steward and base-minded peasant. Chapter 1000 Osby, Arden, now thou hast belched and vomited the rancorous venom of thy misswollen heart. Hear me but speak, as I intend to live, with God and his elected saints in heaven. Chapter 1 Never meant more to solicit her, and that she knows, and all the world shall see 330. Chapter 1 Loved her once, sweet Arden, pardon me. Chapter 1 Could not choose, her beauty fired my heart, but time hath quenched these overraging coals. And Arden, though I now frequent thy house, 'tis for my sister's sake, her waiting maid, and not for hers, mayest thou enjoy her long. Hellfire and wrathful vengeance light on me. Chapter 1 If I dishonor her or injure thee. Arden, Mosby, with these thy protestations, the deadly hatred of my heart's appeased 340. And thou and I'll be friends, if this prove true. As for the base terms I gave thee late, forget them, Mosby, I had cause to speak, when all the knights and gentlemen of Kent. Chapter 1000 Ake common table talk of her and thee. Chapter 1000 Osby, who lives that is not touched with slanderous tongues. Franklin, then Mosby, to eschew the speech of men, upon whose general brute all honor hangs. Forbear his house. Arden, forbear it, nay, rather frequent it more, 350. The world shall see that I distrust her not. To warn him on the sudden from my house, or to confirm the rumor that is grown. Chapter 1000 Osby, by my faith, sir, you say true, and therefore will I sojourn here a while, until our enemies have talked their fill. And then, I hope, they'll cease and at last confess how causeless they have injured her and me. Arden, and I will lie at London all this term, to let them see how light I weigh their words, 360. Here enters Alice. Alice, husband, sit down, your breakfast will be cold. Arden, come, Master Mosby, will you sit with us? Chapter 1000 Osby, I cannot eat, but I'll sit for company. Arden, Sirrah Michael, see our horse be ready. Alice, husband, why pause ye? Why eat you not? Arden, I am not well, there's something in this broth. That is not wholesome. Didst thou make it, Alice? Alice, I did, and that's the cause it likes not you. There's nothing that I do can please your taste. You were best to say, I would have poisoned you 370. Chapter 1 Cannot speak or cast aside my eye, but he imagines I have stepped awry. Here, as he that you cast in my teeth so oft. Now will I be convinced or purge myself. Chapter 1 Charge thee speak to this mistrustful man. Thou that wouldst see me hang, thou Mosby, thou. What favor hast thou had more than a kiss? At coming or departing from the town. Chapter 1000 Osby, you wrong yourself and me to cast these doubts. Your loving husband is not jealous 380. Arden, why, gentle Mistress Alice, cannot I be ill? But you'll accuse yourself. Franklin, thou hast a box of Mithridate. Chapter 1 I'll take a little to prevent the worst. Franklin, do so, and let us presently take horse. Chapter 1000 Why life for yours, ye shall do well enough. Alice, give me a spoon, I'll eat of it myself. Would it were full of poison to the brim. Then should my cares and troubles have an end. Was ever silly woman so tormented? 390. Arden, be patient, sweet love, I mistrust not thee. Alice, God will revenge it, Arden, if thou dost. For never woman loved her husband better than I do thee. Arden, I know it, sweet Alice, cease to complain. Chapter 50. That in tears I answer thee again. Franklin, come, leave this dallying and let us away. Alice, forbear to wound me with that bitter word. Arden shall go to London in my arms. Arden, loth am I to depart, yet I must go 400. Alice, wilt thou to London then, and leave me here? Ah, if thou love me, gentle Arden, stay. Yet, if thy business be of great import, go, if thou wilt, I'll bear it as I may. But write from London to me every week. Nay, every day, and stay no longer there. Then thou must needs, lest that I die for sorrow. Arden, I'll write unto thee every other tide. And so farewell, sweet Alice, till we meet next. Alice, farewell, husband, seeing you'll have it so, 410. And Master Franklin, seeing you take him hence. Chapter 1. And hope you'll hasten him home, I'll give you this. Franklin, and if he stay, the fault shall not be mine. Chapter 1000. Osby, farewell, and see you keep your oath. Chapter 1000. Osby, I hope he is not jealous of me now. Arden, no, Mosby, no, hereafter think of me as of your dearest friend, and so farewell. Alice, I am glad he is gone, he was about to stay. But did you mark me then how I break off? Chapter 1000. Osby, I, Alice, and it was cunningly performed 420. But what a villain is that painter Clark? Alice, was it not a goodly poison that he gave? Why, he's as well now as he was before. Chapter 1. Tea should have been some fine confection. That might have given the broth some dainty taste. This powder was too gross and populous. Chapter 1000. Osby, but had he eaten but 3 spoonfuls more, then had he died, and our love continued. Alice, why so it shall Mosby, albeit he live. Chapter 1000. Osby, it is unpossible, for I have sworn 430. Never hereafter to solicit thee. Or, whilst he lives, once more importune thee. Alice, thou shalt not need, I will importune thee. What, shall an oath make thee forsake my love? As if I have not sworn as much myself, and given my hand unto him in the church. Tush, Mosby, oaths are words, and words is wind. And wind is mutable, then I conclude. 'Tis childishness to stand upon an oath. Chapter 1000. Osby, well proved, Mistress Alice, yet by your leave 440. Chapter 1. I'll keep mine unbroken whilst he lives. Alice, I do and spare not, his time is but short. For if thou be'st as resolute as I, will have him murdered as he walks the streets. Chapter 1. In London many alehouse ruffians keep, which, as I hear, will murder men for gold. They shall be soundly feed to pay him home. Here enters Green. Chapter 1000. Osby, Alice, what's he that comes yonder? Knowest thou him? Alice, Mosby, be gone, I hope 'tis one that comes to put in practice our intended drifts, 450. Green, Mistress Arden, you are well met. Chapter 1. Am sorry that your husband is from home. Weena's my purpose journey was to him. Yet all my labor is not spent in vain. For I suppose that you can full discourse, and flat resolve me of the thing I seek. Alice, what is it, Master Green, if that I may? Or can with safety, I will answer you. Green, I heard your husband hath the grant of late. Chapter 100. Confirmed by letters patents from the King 460. Of all the lands of the Abbey of Feversham, generally entitled, so that all former grants are cut off, whereof I myself had one. But now my interest by that is void. This is all, Mistress Arden. Is it true or no? Alice, true, Master Green. The lands are his in state, and whatsoever leases were before. are void for term of Master Arden's life. He hath the grant under the chancery seal. Green, pardon me, Mistress Arden, I must speak 470. For I am touched, your husband doth me wrong, to wring me from the little land I have. Chapter 1000. Why living is my life, and only that resteth remainder of my portion. Chapter 500. Esure of wealth is endless in his mind, and he is greedy gaping still for gain. Nor cares he though young gentlemen do beg, so he may scrape and hoard up in his pouch. But seeing he hath ta'en my lands, I'll value life, as careless as he is careful for to get 480. And tell him this from me, I'll be revenged. And so as he shall wish the abbey lands had rested still within their former state. Alice, alas, poor gentleman, I pity you, and woe is me that any man should want. God knows, 'tis not my fault, but wonder not, though he be hard to others, when to me. Ah, Master Green, God knows how I am used. Green, why, Mistress Arden, can the crabbed churl use you unkindly? Respects he not your birth 490? Your honorable friends, nor what you brought? Why, all Kent knows your parentage, and what you are. Alice, ah, Master Green, be it spoken in secret here. Chapter 1. Never live good day with him alone. When he's at home, then have I froward looks, hard words and blows, to mend the match withal. And though I might content as good a man, yet doth he keep in every corner trulls. And when he's weary with his trugs at home, then rides he straight to London, there, forsooth, 500. He revels it among such filthy ones as counsels him to make away his wife. Thus live I daily in continual fear. Chapter 1. In sorrow, so despairing of redress, as every day I wish with hearty prayer that he or I were taken forth the world. Green, now trust me, Mistress Alice, it grieveth me, so fair a creature should be so abused. Why, who would have thought the civil sir so sullen? He looks so smoothly, now fie upon him, churl, 510. And if he live a day, he lives too long. But frolic, woman, I shall be the man, shall set you free from all this discontent. And if the churl deny my interest, and will not yield my lease into my hand. Chapter 1. I'll pay him home, whatever hap to me. Alice, but speak you as you think. Green, I, God's my witness, I mean plain dealing. For I had rather die than lose my land. Alice, then Master Green, be counselled by me, 520. Chapter 1. Endanger not yourself for such a churl, but hire some cutter for to cut him short. And here's £10 to wager them withal. When he is dead, you shall have 20 more. And the lands whereof my husband is possessed shall be entitled as they were before. Green, will you keep promise with me? Alice, or count me false and perjured whilst I live? Green, then here's my hand, I'll have him so dispatched. Chapter 1. I'll up to London straight, I'll thither post 530. And never rest till I have compassed it. Till then farewell. Alice, good fortune follow all your forward thoughts, and whosoever doth attempt the deed. A happy hand I wish, and so farewell. All this goes well, Mosby, I long for thee, to let thee know all that I have contrived. Here enters Mosby and Clark. Chapter 1000. Osby, how now, Alice, what's the news? Alice, such as will content thee well, sweetheart. Chapter 1000. Osby, well, let them pass a while and tell me, Alice, how have you dealt and tempered with my sister? What, will she have my neighbor Clark, or no? Alice, what, Master Mosby, let him woo himself. Think you that maids look not for fair words? Go to her, Clark, she's all alone within. Chapter 1099. Hail, my man is clean out of her books. Chapter 150. Ark, I thank you, Mistress Arden, I will in. And if fair Susan and I can make agree, you shall command me to the uttermost, as far as either goods or life may stretch 550. Chapter 1000. Osby, now Alice, let's hear thy news. Alice, they be so good that I must laugh for joy before I can begin to tell my tale. Chapter 1000. Osby, let's hear them that I may laugh for company. Alice, this morning Master Green, Dick Green I mean, from whom my husband had the abbey land. Chapter 100. Aim hither railing for to know the truth, whether my husband had the lands by grant. Chapter 1. Told him all whereat he stormed Amain, and swore he would cry quittance with the churl 560. And, if he did deny his interest, stab him, whatsoever did befall himself. Ween as I saw his choler thus to rise. Chapter 1. Wedded on the gentleman with words. And to conclude, Mosby, at last we grew to composition for my husband's death. Chapter 1. Gave him £10 for to hire knaves, by some device to make away the churl. When he is dead, he should have 20 more, and repossess his former lands again, 570. On this we agreed, and he has ridden straight to London for to bring his death about. Chapter 1000. Osby, but call you this good news? Alice, aye, sweetheart, be they not? Chapter 1000. Osby, 'twere cheerful news to hear the churl were dead. But trust me, Alice, I take it passing ill. You would be so forgetful of our state, to make recount of it to every groom. What, to acquaint each stranger with our drifts? Chapter 100. He flee in case of murder, why, tease the way 580. To make it open unto Arden's self, and bring thyself and me to ruin both. Forewarned, forearmed, who threats his enemy. Chapter 50. Ends him a sword to guard himself withal. Alice, I did it for the best. Chapter 1000. Osby, well, seeing tea's done, cheerly let it pass. You know this Green, is he not religious? A man, I guess, of great devotion. Alice, he is. Chapter 1000. Osby, then sweet Alice, let it pass, I have adrift 590. Will quiet all, whatever is amiss. Here enters Clark and Susan. Alice, how now, Clark, have you found me false? Chapter 999. I not plead the matter hard for you. Chapter 150. Ark, you did. Chapter 1000. Osby, and what, wilt be a match? Chapter 150. Ark, a match, I faith, sir, I the day is mine. The painter lays his colors to the life. His pencil draws no shadows in his love. Susan is mine. Alice, you make her blush 600. Chapter 1000. Osby, what sister is it Clark must be the man? Susan, it resteth in your grant, some words are past, and haply we be grown unto a match. Chapter 1. If you be willing that it shall be so. Chapter 1000. Osby, ah, Master Clark, it resteth at my grant. You see my sister, as yet at my dispose. But so you'll grant me one thing I shall ask. Chapter 1. I'm content my sister shall be yours. Chapter 150. Ark, what is it, Master Mosby? Chapter 1000. Osby, I do remember once in secret talk 610. You told me how you could compound by art a crucifix empoisoned, that whoso look upon it should wax blind, and with the scent be stifled, that ere long he should die poisoned that did view it well. Chapter 1. Would have you make me such a crucifix, and then I'll grant my sister shall be yours. Chapter 150. Ark, though I am loth because it toucheth life, yet rather I'll leave sweet Susan's love. Chapter 1. I'll do it, and with all the haste I may 620. But for whom is it? Alice, leave that to us. Why, Clark, is it possible that you should paint and draw it out yourself? The colors being baleful and empoisoned, and no ways prejudice yourself withal. Chapter 1000. Osby, well questioned, Alice. Clark, how answer you that? Chapter 150. Ark, very easily, I'll tell you straight how I do work of these empoisoned drugs. Chapter 1. Fasten on my spectacles so close, as nothing can any way offend my sight. 630. Then, as I put a leaf within my nose, so put I rhubarb to avoid the smell. And softly, as another work I paint. Chapter 1000. Mosby. 'Tis very well, but against when shall I have it? Chapter 150. Arc. Within this 10 days. Chapter 1000. Mosby. 'Twill serve the turn. Now, Alice, let's in and see what cheer you keep. Chapter 1. Hope, now Master Arden is from home. You'll give me leave to play your husband's part. Alice, Mosby, you know, who's master of my heart. He well may be the master of the house. 640. Chapter 1. Patents. The plural is always used in a cf. Richard II. Chapter 1. Contrast Holinshed. He, i.e. Arden, was contented to wink at her filthy disorder, and Wardmote book, all which things the said Arden did well know and wilfully did permit and suffer the same. He was afraid to offend Lord North, father-in-law unto Alice Arden, whose servant Mosby had been. This North was the father of the translator of Plutarch. Chapter 1. Pass, so Bullen for past, A, B, C. Chapter 1. Botcher is not butcher, but a mender of old clothes. Chapter 1. Jealous, spelt jellyhouse and pronounced so throughout the play. Chapter 1. The reference is to Ovid's elegy, ad orem ne properit, Amor. Chapter 1. Most editions reject often. If we retain it, the line is an Alexandrine. Cf. 167, 238, 479, III, etc. Chapter 1. Flower de Luce. An inn formerly situated in Abbey Street, nearly opposite Arden's house. C.E. Donne, an essay on the tragedy of Arden of Feversham, 1873. Chapter 1. Thy house of force, i.e. fortified house. Chapter 1. Narrow, so all editors, but the marrow prying of A may be correct. Blab is either a verb with and omitted after it, or a noun, the subject of hinder. Chapter 1. An allusion to verses or inscriptions on tapestry hangings. Chapter 1. Cf. I'll write to him a very taunting letter. As you like it, I. Chapter 1. It was popularly supposed that a virgin might save a criminal from the gallows by offering to marry him. See note to my edition of Marston, -1. Bullen. Chapter 1. Perhaps Worth should be omitted. Chapter 1. Bolton is Botten looking down on Canterbury. Donne. Chapter 1. The name Clark is apparently our author's invention, like the name and character of Franklin. The painter's name was William Blackburn. Chapter 1. Leave, Tyrrell reads love. Chapter 1. Makes. This singular with a plural subject is frequent in our play. Cf. Enters in the stage directions with a plural, and 437, 502, II, and etc. Consult Mr. Verity's note on Edward I. Temple dramatists. Chapter 1. The statute in question was 37 Edward III. Chapter 1. The making of Spanish needles was first taught in England by Elias Crowes, a Germain about the 8th year of Queen Elizabeth, and in Queen Marie's time there was a Negro made fine Spanish needles in Cheapside, but would never teach his art to any. Quoted by Bullen from Stowe, edition 1631, p. 1038. Chapter 1. Then Mosby, having at his girdle a pressing iron of 14-pound weight, stroke him on the head with the same, so that he fell down and gave a great groan. Holinshed, CFV. Chapter 1. Velvet Drudge, an allusion to Mosby's tailoring. Chapter 1. Populous, perhaps used in the sense of thick, compact. Bullen. Webster quotes this passage and explains, suitable to common people, hence common, inferior, vulgar. Delius proposes palpable. Chapter 1. His in state, i.e. his legally. Chapter 1. Cf. To wring the widow from her customed right. 2 Henry V.I.V. Chapter 1. Tyrrell begins Act II, here. Chapter 1. The gentleman is not in your books. Much ado I. Chapter 1. Make agree, come to an agreement. Agree was used adverbially for agree. Act 2. Scene 1. Chapter 100. Outry between Feversham and London. Enter Green and Bradshaw. Bradshaw, see you them that comes yonder, Master Green. Green, I very well, do you know them? Here enters Black Will and Shakebag. Bradshaw, the one I know not, but he seems a knave. Chapter 100. He flee forbearing the other company. For such a slave, so vile a rogue as he. Chapter 54. Ease not again upon the earth. Black Will is his name, I tell you, Master Green. At Boulogne he and I were fellow soldiers, where he played such pranks, as all the camp feared him for his villainy. 10. Chapter 1. Warrant you he bears so bad a mind, that for a crown he'll murder any man. Green, the fitter is he for my purpose, marry. Will, how now, fellow Bradshaw, whither away so early? Bradshaw, O Will, times are changed, no fellows now. Though we were once together in the field, yet thy friend, to do thee any good I can. Will, why, Bradshaw, was not thou and I fellow soldiers? At Boulogne, where I was a corporal, and thou but a base mercenary groom, no fellows. Now, because you are a goldsmith and have a little plate in your shop, you were glad to call me fellow Will, and with a curtsy to the earth. 1. Snatch, good corporal, when I stole the half-ox from John the victualler, and domineered with it amongst good fellows in one night. Bradshaw, I will, those days are past with me 27. Will, I, but they be not past with me, for I keep that same honorable mind still. Good neighbor Bradshaw, you are too proud to be my fellow, but were. Chapter 1. Tea not that I see more company coming down the hill, I would be fellows with you once more, and share crowns with you too, but let that pass, and tell me whither you go. Bradshaw, to London, Will, about a piece of service, wherein haply thou mayest pleasure me. Will, what is it? Bradshaw, of late Lord Cheney lost some plate, which one did bring and sold it at my shop, saying he served Sir Anthony Cook. 40. A search was made, the plate was found with me, and I am bound to answer at the size. Now Lord Cheney solemnly vows, if law will serve him, he'll hang me for his plate. Now I am going to London upon hope to find the fellow. Now Will, I know thou art acquainted with such companions. Will, what manner of man was he? Bradshaw, a lean-faced writhen knave, hawk-nosed and very hollow-eyed 50, with mighty furrows in his stormy brows. Chapter 50. Long hair down his shoulders curled. His chin was bare, but on his upper lip a machado, which he wound about his ear. Will, what apparel had he? Bradshaw, a watchet satin doublet all to torn. The inner side did bear the greater show. A pair of threadbare velvet hose, seam rent. A worsted stocking ran above the shoe. A livery cloak, but all the lace was off. 60. 'Twas bad, but yet it served to hide the plate. Will, Sirrah Shakebag, canst thou remember since we trolled the bowl at Sittingburg, where I broke the tapster's head of the lion with a cudgel stick? Shakebag, I very well will. Will, why, it was with the money that the plate was sold for. Sirrah Bradshaw, what wilt thou give him? That can tell thee who sold thy plate. Bradshaw, who I pray thee, good Will. Will, why, 'twas one Jack Fitton, he's now in Newgate, for stealing a horse, and shall be arraigned the next, size 72. Bradshaw, why, then let Lord Cheney seek Jack Fitton forth, for I'll back and tell him who robbed him of his plate. This cheers my heart. Master Green, I'll leave you, for I must to the Isle of Sheppey with speed. Green, before you go, let me entreat you to carry this letter to Mistress Arden of Feversham, and humbly recommend me to herself. Bradshaw, that will I, Master Green, and so farewell 80. Here, Will, there's a crown for thy good news. Exit Bradshaw. Will, Farewell, Bradshaw, I'll drink no water for thy sake whilst this lasts. Now, gentlemen, shall we have your company to London? Green, nay, stay, sirs. A little more I needs, must use your help, and in a matter of great consequence, wherein, if you'll be secret and profound. Chapter 1. I'll give you 20 angels for your pains, 89. Will, how, 20 angels, give my fellow George Shakebag and me 20 angels, and if thou'lt have thy own father slain, that thou mayst he inherit his land, will kill him 93. Shakebag, I thy mother, thy sister, thy brother, or all thy kin. Green, well, this it is, Arden of Feversham hath highly wronged me about the abbey land, that no revenge but death will serve the turn. Will you two kill him? Here's the angels down, and I will lay the platform of his death, 100. Will, plat me no platforms, give me the money, and Chapter 1. I'll stab him as he stands pissing against a wall, but Chapter 1. I'll kill him. Shakebag, where is he? Green, he is now at London, in Aldersgate Street. Shakebag, he's dead as if he had been condemned by an act of Parliament, if once Black Will and I swear his death. Green, here is £10, and when he is dead, ye shall have 20 more, 110. Will, my fingers itches to be at the peasant. Ah, that